What's going on, guys? N64 guy here, bringing you my 2018 video game room tour. Today is January 5th, 2018. Lots of things have changed over my game room over the past year or so. Let's get right into it here. So right here, as you walk in, you've got Incredible Hulk's head and fist decal lights. I picked these up off eBay a few years ago. Below that is the map of Pokemon from the game Pokemon Yellow. When I purchased my reproduction NES cartridge copy from NanFanHippo on Instagram, he also sent this with it. Then down here is my Conker's Bad Fur Day poster signed by the developer team from Rare Studios. I actually have two of these. Sadly, they're both damaged. This one, the way it was shipped, the glass broke and it scratched the poster quite a bit here. But still happy to have it in my collection regardless. And then right here we have, I just changed this up yesterday, just a console shelf. So at the top we've got my Nintendo iQ. This was only released in Hong Kong back in 2003. Down here we have my first Panasonic GameCube. It's a GameCube DVD player hybrid system, only released in Japan. And I even have the extremely rare English remote cover. Picked this up off eBay for about $100 3 years ago, I think now. And then you just got the controller back there. And then on the shelf below it, we have my NES Classic. This is a refurbished version. I had a friend who works at Nintendo actually purchase this for me and set it up for me. And then I've got it on a display stand from Rose Colored Gaming. Below that, we have my mini Famicom with the power adapter from Japan. The controllers are super tiny on these things, but it's a pretty cool little console. And then we've got just a regular Super Nintendo. It's all gray, doesn't have the common yellow fading problem. Below that, we've got my mini Super Nintendo Classic Edition. And then we have a Hori Fighting Commander. It's actually a really nice controller. Well worth the $40 here in Canada. Then we've got my Super Famicom Classic. The buttons on these controllers are so much nicer than the North American ones. And then another Hori Commander. The box art is also friggin' awesome from Japan. And down here, we have my second Panasonic Q. I have the box for one of these. It's in a closet. Down here, we've got my SNES Junior with my retro USB copy of Donkey Kong Country competition cartridge. And then my Xbox 360 that I don't think I've turned on in about 5 years now. Beside that, we have my TV stand. It's two shelves from IKEA. The bottom one is Expedit, which is the older version. And then the top one is Kallax, which is now discontinued and I've gone to something else. So my console stand, I've got a 32-inch Samsung. It's not a smart TV, it's just an LCD. But it works just fine for what I use it. Above the TV, I've got my Marvel deco lights. So we've got Captain America's shield, Iron Man's hand and head, a Deadpool mirror, my Nintendo light-up sign, Spider-Man and his hand, and then Thor's hammer. Then I've got two Yoshis, a red Yoshi, a black Yoshi on the top of the television. And then down here we have a controller, a PS2, PS3 Move controllers. We have Fry from the superhero episode, a black GameCube. This is a green Ocarina. And we got the Planet Express ship. That came from Loot Crate a few months ago. And we've got a blue Ocarina. And we have a Pokepipe. It's pretty cool. We've got the Master Sword. It's a letter opener. Picked this up from GameStop. It was $20. And we've got Terminator 2 skull, a blue ocarina. I picked that up off Wish with the other ones. This is a Collector Craft mini Nintendo 64. It's a Raspberry Pi inside. It's pretty cool. Then we've got a red ocarina. The electronic ocarina that I got from GameStop or EB Games, wherever you're from. It's pretty cool. Got a Rick and Morty thing, or like little toy, another little toy, a Dorby or whatever the hell it is. Not for resale. Jet Force Gemini for the N64. Pink PS2 controller, black PS3 controllers. Yoshi, and then just some random shit in a barrel. And then we've got my Phoenix Orb from the Phoenix Orb project. Just a 3D printed N64 sign. And then a black Yoshi. Samsung soundbar. And then the first console we have here is a custom Zelda console. It was made by Space and Traders on eBay. I have two of these. One of them is broken. It was damaged in shipping. The back corner is busted up, but it still displays nice. And then beside that we have two Hori mini pads. These are one of the best controllers around to play with. They are quite expensive. They're about $100 a piece. They were only released in Japan. So we've got the watermelon. It's watermelon. Well, they call it clear red in Japan, but it's watermelon and clear. And then we've got just a regular red. And then at the back, we have my Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe Vinyl Edition. Next is a custom Zelda console made by MAL Custom Consoles on eBay. I bought this for my girlfriend back in 2013. It is pretty cool. If you put it under a black light, it glows. And then back there is my Moonshake Records Metroid Part 3 Super Metroid soundtrack on vinyl. Beside that, we have another custom N64. It's painted Synergy Green from the Chevy Camaro, the new one. And then it's got Yoshi sticking his tongue out at an egg. Then I have two matching controllers with polka dots on them, or eggs. And then another vinyl record there. We have the Castlevania soundtrack by Moonshake Records. And then we have Leela. And then we have my second Zelda console. I think this is a broken one. We've got King Bender. And then this looks like Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, but it's got a Triforce in it. It's actually the Legend of Zelda soundtrack by Moonshake Records. And then we've got a green Hori mini pad, and then a clear blue Hori mini pad. And then down here, we've got the clear blue Nintendo 64, only released in Japan and Europe. And then we have the Pokemon soundtrack from Moonshake Records. The first record Moonshake ever did, Mega Man. And we have the rarest N64 console of the colored ones, anyhow, is the Justco 30th Anniversary Edition, only sold in Justco stores. It's pretty cool. I think I paid about $500 for this. I want to say like 2013. Long time. And then my Nintendo 64 Double D, which was only released in Japan and only had 9 games. It is quite expensive. I think I paid $600 for this one, and it's just the console, nothing else. Next, we have the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack by Moonshake Records. This was one of his latest releases. This and Metroid were the last ones released. And then we have my Die Hawks console. It is the coolest looking one of all the N64s. It's fire orange, but it's not fire orange, and then black, clear black underneath. They're around $200 if you want one in decent shape without the marbling and whatnot. Like this one is in very, very, very clean shape. There's no marbling or anything, which is quite common with these. They get swirls in the yellow, or sorry, orange. Beside that, we have, this console is not in super great condition. It's a clear red console from Japan. It's got a little bit of yellowing on it. I think I paid about $40 for this one. And then we've got another Moonshake soundtrack, the NES remix. And down here we've got my Midnight Blue. It's a Japanese Nintendo 64. It's the same as Grape, but they called it Midnight Blue. And then we have my PS3 Slim, an Xbox with a clear case on it, and it's got a blue LED in it as well. And then one more colored or custom N64. It's purple with metal flake in it. Looks pretty cool. It was done 2011, 2012. And so that is my TV stand. Beside that is my complete Nintendo 64 cart collection. I own every single game released, plus all the variants, except I don't have a real copy of Majora's Mask, the not for resale gray version, simply because it's just far too expensive. They're, I think, $1,500 to $2,000 at this point. I have a reproduction copy that I paid $40 for, so that works good enough. At the top, we have 3 of my blister controllers. I have 13 of these. I think 12 or 13 of them. The only ones I'm missing are a second watermelon and a second fire orange. So yeah, I've got 12 of them. And so at the top, we've got the Toys R Us exclusive, gold. And we've got Smoke. I scooped that one up for $100, but the package isn't in very good condition. Then we've got a Grape. And then all my N64 loose games are in universal game cases with covers printed from the coverproject.net. The cases I purchased from Media Shelving, you had to buy 100 in a box at a time, and I think they were 100 and it worked out to just be about $100 when I ordered them, but that was 5 or 6 years ago now. Got my Jungle Green blister controller, my Nintendo 64 Double D games, Mario no Fotopi, only released in Japan. It uses smart media cards. It's the only game on the console to do so. There's an Ice Blue blister controller with Donkey Kong on a barrel, PSP, Green Yoshi. These are all the not for resale cartridges. And like I said, the only one that's not real is my gray Majora's Mask. Next to my N64 shelves, we have my Nintendo collection. We'll start at the top. We've got my 3 gamer hats from gamerhats.com, N64, North American, Super Nintendo, and then the Super Famicom. Sitting on top of my Audio-Technica record player. It's a Bluetooth record player. I have it paired with my Sony Bluetooth speaker here. And beside that, we have my N64 lamp with a cappy on top. Beside that, we have my Pokemon Game Boy Advanced kiosk. And then we have my Nintendo collection. So we've got my regular toaster Nintendo with a couple Mesha wireless controllers, and then we've got Zelda 2 on top there. Some games here, and at the bottom some reproduction Super Nintendo games. On this shelf, got my Rob the Robot, my Asian Mario Bros, and then my favorite game on the Nintendo, DuckTales. Some more games. And then down here we've got some Xbox games, some PS3 games and PS2 games. A couple copies of Leisure Suit Larry and 3D Dot Game Heroes. Just some empty cases or my retro Zone cartridges from retrousb.com. Got all my 8-bit Christmases. I don't have them all. And then just some others. Some more. Got a bunch of copies of Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, because who doesn't? And then my top loader Nintendo. A couple Nintendo clones. That is not a real NES classic. nor is that one. They're both knockoffs. Then we've got the Supervision Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, Reproduction Little Samson, and then 8-Bit Xmas this year, which was a compilation of all the previous years. And that is my NES collection on these 3 shelves. So above my NES collection, I've got some deco lights here, all from Transformers. Got the Autobots and Decepticon sign, and then we've got a chrome Grimlock that was custom made. So next to my NES collection, we have my 2 shelves of factory sealed Nintendo 64 games, and then with my press kits and a couple other things here. So up the top we have my blister accessory collection. The hardest of these to find is the Rumble Pack. We've got 2 Conker's Bad Fur Day press kits, 2 copies of Conker's Live and Reloaded. One is the Korean version, a complete and box copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day, a custom label and cartridge Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's just a regular version of the game. I just had a custom label printed and put it on a cartridge. Then below that, it's a factory sealed copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day. Conker's Lot. And beside my Nintendo 64 sealed collection, I've got my daybed, got a Switch in a dock here. It's got the watermelon Joy-Cons with the D-pad on them. Did a video on those earlier. You can check it out. I think it was my last video. And up here on the wall, we've got my 3 Nintendo 64 promo controllers. We've got my Nintendo Power 100 controller, my Millennium 2000. There was only 1,000 of these made. And my Donkey Kong 64 controller. Above that, we've got a Domo-kun, some of the Garfield plushes from TY, or Ty, whatever you want to call it, some records, game room sign, a sealed copy of Fallout 3 New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas. I think it was Fallout 3. Garfield, Felix the Cat, Toad, my PSP collection. Top here we've got a shelf. We've got another factory sealed game up here. We've got Sesame Street, Elmo's Letter Adventure. We have a Zelda Breath of the Wild promo cube I got from GameStop or EB Games. And we've got my 4 Mario Rabbids figures. They were $10 a piece. They had a sale at EB Games. We've got Mario Kart Wii, the big box. Then we've got my 2 shelves that house my Fox Data collection. So we've got my Chrome series, and then the other series. We have Desert Storm, Chrome Leopard, Red Rain, and Purple Forest. And then we've got an Electric Blue console, and then a reproduction copy of Zelda Master Quest for the N64. My second Nintendo Power 100 controller, and then a Super Mario Odyssey poster. And then here we have my Chrome console, Chrome controller, my gold controller, Electric Blue, a Zelda promo cube, and this is a bronze controller. Beside my Fox Data collection is my GameCube collection. So we've got some Player's Choice games down here. And then all the black box games. We got some DK bongos, a couple GameCubes here, a couple controllers there, some Mario games, some Later Fluid, a Smash controller for the Wii, or the Wii U, sorry. And some more games, and then up here we have another GameCube and then a big box of Batman on the GameCube. And last but not least is the final shelf in my game room. But before that, we've got this Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Nintendo Switch standee that I got from EB Games. Always ask, man. It never hurts to ask, because all they do is throw this in the garbage afterwards anyhow. So at the top here, we have a Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, retro USB reproductions, a Yoshi, my Asian Nintendo, But it actually says Asian version right there, as you can see. It is actually gray instead of black at the top here, so that's pretty cool. I got that from a local game store a bunch of years back. Got a sealed blister Nokia N-Gauge. And then here we have my custom clear NES games made by Mike D77S on Instagram. So we've got Zelda, Mega Man, Castlevania, and Metroid. And then we have my Spitfire Labs laser etched Zelda cartridge. My Marvelous, made by Wiggy at Rose Colored Gaming and all the crew there. I won this for their 10,000 follower Instagram giveaway. Down here we just have a DSi and my Nintendo Switch collection. A Nokia 3310. My Splatoon case for my Nintendo Switch. And then we have my Nintendo Switch display here. Here we've got all the grips for the Joy-Cons, and then a bunch of amiibo cards for Mario Kart, Zelda, Splatoon, and Super Mario Odyssey as well. Then we have got my 2 Switch boxes. One's mine, one's my girlfriend's. I had the neon one, and she had the gray one. Then we have the neon green Joy-Cons. Some Super Mario Odyssey promo coins. This one I believe was from Hong Kong or Japan. I can't exactly remember. It's a luggage tag. And then there was also a passport cover I think was in China. Then we've got my Splatoon 2 Pro Controller box. My air freshener that was given away with Super Mario Odyssey here at EB Games in Canada. A postcard. A couple more coins from Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey sticker book. Red Joy-Cons box. And then down here we have some reproduction Nintendo cartridges. So we've got Cheetah Man 2. We've got Pokemon Yellow on the NES. We've got the Nintendo Campus Challenge 1991. Little Samson. Con Games presents Larry the Luscious Lover. And then my Nintendo World Championship cartridge. And then down here we have 6 of the 7 blister factory sealed Nintendo 64 controllers. So you've got Grape, Ice, Blue, Jungle Green, Smoke, Fire Orange, and Watermelon Red, which is the hardest one to find. There are less than 10 known in existence in collectors' hands. And down here we have a BitBoy, a blue and white one, which is a little Famiclone, which is pretty cool. I did a review video on it, you should check it out. Then we have the Cool Baby, a Game Boy Pocket, NES Classic Edition. This is a reproduction, or a fake one. Another BitBoy, the red and blue version. And then we've got my 20th anniversary Famicom Game Boy Micro, the 3 Nintendo DSi games, Generation Next Mesha controllers, copy of the Game Chaser Season 1 and 2, and then Pokemon Crystal. Below that, we have my Nokia N-Gauge collection. Most are factory sealed. And then we've got some batteries, and then some shells for the Joy-Cons to switch them out. And then just some other random crap here. So yeah, that is my 2018 video game room tour. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.